Steelers taking on the Houston Texans. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the point.
The third of 3 games to finish up this Sunday. We might save the best for last. And off we go here in the wild card round. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Rodgers going to the air to start things out. A short one there to Freiermuth. 5 yards on the game's first play. 2nd down. To throw is Rodgers. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get him there for the sack. Grover Stewart collapses the pocket and drops him for a loss of 3. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing now is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. And the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. I think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder.
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. At a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
And he comes off of a really good regular season with over 4,000 yards passing. And now in the playoffs, people always ask the question, do you continue to play the way you played in the regular season? Do you turn it loose? Or do you tone it down a little bit? I think you've got to be smart. But make sure you show the defense something they haven't seen before.
And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there. And it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Throwing now is Stroud. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. A tall task ahead of them here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy. Oh, you understand the same. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure to ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. And this is going to be a Steelers 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Good running right there. And this is a man who's a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
On play action, now Rodgers. Pass complete, George Pickens with it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one good for 37 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Throwing is Rodgers. Going across the formation, he finds Freiermuth. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. 2nd and 2, first down marker at the 8. Now Rodgers. Caught on the slant. Touchdown. From 10 yards out. And the Steelers will strike first here in this wild card matchup. On this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running because it's one thing to have athletic ability, but to really get open, you have to set up defensive backs with different routes and be precise in your cuts.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive.
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Completes it to Kirk over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And Stroud now to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Alex Highsmith buries him for a loss of 11 from his outside linebacker spot.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. A first carry here for Joe Mixon. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Taking a shot for Dell here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now it's Rodgers. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Anytime the ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Stroud looking to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Here's Stroud. That's going to be caught by Kirk. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well-timed there. And now 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in down. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down. Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back in the league. And in terms of impact on a game, not many better than him. And when they're flowing and he's carrying the ball consistently, they're tough to beat.
Here's Rodgers. Here's Freiermuth again. And Freiermuth going to have a Steelers 1st down as he'll take this down inside the 45.
And a Steelers 1st down.
Here's Rodgers to throw. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. 2nd down in a yard. Now run straight ahead with Warren. Shifts by him.
Oh, that's sweet.
What an effort. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 49 yards rushing for him already. A terrific first quarter here to begin the playoffs. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2 as they go to work on a 1st and goal. On play action, Rodgers. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That snap, he's a hero of his defense after the play he just made. A one-possession game, and his hit kept it exactly that.
Rodgers now to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. This is a big play in this wild card matchup, facing 3rd and goal. Rodgers going to throw. Dancing, and he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Will Anderson in there to drop it for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
And that's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. 3rd and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack, and now they're going to force them into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
And the former Rice Al Boswell puts this one through in his return to Houston. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And now out comes Houston. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football. And they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. Now Rodgers. A short one there to Fryermuth. Just a gain of a couple there. 3rd and 7 now.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete. Blanketed coverage by Houston. Makes it 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
Houston set to take over. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
2nd down and 3. Stroud. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. 2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd down and 2. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. Handoff for Warren. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground. honed in on it and stopped him. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. DK Metcalf, 29 yards. And the Steelers are able to add on to that lead. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And here comes the Texans now. They've got to be a little shell-shocked. Down double digits at home in the playoffs. Still in the first half. They've got to turn things around quickly. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the deep.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Stroud working out of the gun. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
Stroud to throw it. That's caught again by Schultz. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6.
At the 39-yard line.
Inside handoff to Mixon. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Stroud sets up the play action. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's got a first down there after a gain of about 12 as the clock will stop right now for the 2-minute warning. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Stroud. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Schultz. And so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field. And just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Stroud will run the option left. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Throwing now is Stroud. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. From 3 yards out. And the Texans get a bit closer. Well, down in this part of the field, CD, they love to get him the football. And right there, a little pitch and catch for the score.
Yeah, and he's such a weapon when it's that close to the end zone. And they love being able to rely on him to make those kind of catches. Talk about trust, talk about confidence, and he produces.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. It's up, it's good. That'll make the scoreline 20-10. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw is Rodgers. Finding Pickens for another catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Throwing now is Rodgers. He finds Pickens over the middle. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. 2nd and 6. Rodgers to throw once more. Caught by Wilson. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
18 yards there, down to the 18 and a 1st down.
I can't help but chuckle a little bit because at this point, it can't be a surprise to anyone in the building who's going to get the ball. They just keep feeding him over and over, and he just keeps on delivering.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And to the left side here, Wilson. He's going to be brought down there in the field of play. And the clock will run, no timeouts. They will not have the chance to bring out the field goal unit.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. This is the last of our 3 games on this Sunday. One more to follow tomorrow night as we wrap up a very exciting 3 days of Super Wild Card Weekend. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where it was the Ravens who get the win at home. Lamar Jackson leading the way as his guys pick up win number 14 on the year. Meanwhile, in our game, it took a little while to get settled in, but we were in for a battle royale in this second half. And to call the action, let's go back to the guys who've been there all year. Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Texans going to take over here to start quarter number 3. All in all, pretty manageable deficit, Charles, here as they start this third quarter offensively when you consider the fact that in the first 2 quarters, they had 2 costly turnovers.
I think you laid it out there perfectly, partner. Very tough to hold a lead going into the break. If if you continue to hand it over on multiple drives.
Yeah, and obviously, Charles, it'll be very tough to climb back into the game if those turnovers continue.
I would say borderline impossible. You keep turning it over, I don't know how you make up a deficit.
He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Play action. Stroud now. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. And they'll go play action here with Stroud. And he finds his target. It's Schultz. They'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down. Stroud will look to throw once more. To Mixon on the check down. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That's good for the Texans. First down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Stroud out of the gun here. Finding Mixon here again on back-to-back plays. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 42-yard line.
Stroud off the play fake. The 20. 5. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Dalton Schultz, 42 yards. And the Texans have got it back to within a score.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was the tight end Dalton Schultz on the touchdown reception to cap the drive. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Escapes the defender. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Steelers offense and Aaron Rodgers getting set for their next drive. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change. Because otherwise, that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
To the right side, incomplete to Metcalf. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
A gain of 12. First down, Pittsburgh.
Warren will try to right side. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
To throw, it's Rodgers. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Now 3rd down and 7. Throwing is Rodgers. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. C.J. Stroud and the offense back out there. The returns on the last drive, pretty good. 7 for 7, touchdown pass, Probably take that, right?
I would say so. I mean, when you're cutting them apart.
They intercept Stroud again, the third time in this game. Darius Slay with a pick. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. On the give, it's Warren. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 59 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
And in a situation like this, you're in the second half with the lead, trying to get to the division round. They're going to let him do his thing on the ground, and that's a great run there to pick up a 1st down.
Ball start, offense.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now it's Rodgers. A short one there to Freiermuth. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Warren. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Rodgers going to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And in for the Steelers touchdown. DK Metcalf with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Steelers are able to extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point put through by Boswell, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Unable to corral him, he fights through. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Texans offense and C.J. Stroud getting ready for this next drive. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. And Stroud now to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in a shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down. 25 yards there on the catch and run. Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Here goes Stroud again. Throw over the middle is taken in by Dell. Touchdown, Houston. takedown. 30 yards. And the Texans have cut it back within a score.
Everybody likes to see the long ball thrown, but when you throw it underneath and you see someone catch the ball, secure it, make their moves, and then turn it into bigger plays, that's a lot of fun to watch as well.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And the lead is down to a field goal now. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Well, now how about this return? And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Here's Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Wilson. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up second down. On the run, it's Warren. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Now a run with Warren. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Texans will take over. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And what a pressure spot for both sides, really. But they're at home now. They have the football here in the playoffs, sort of controlling their own destiny.
It's a spot they've all dreamed of. This is where you want to be. Home, have the ball, a chance to win the game, control your own destiny, as you noted. But here's the thing. Don't let the crowd get too involved if you're this team now. You've got to make sure you let them carry you, but not cause you to do things out of what you're supposed to do, right? Take you away from focusing and concentrating on the game.
Because sometimes you get so amped from the crowd that can carry you into spots you don't want to be. Is that what you're saying?
From experience, sometimes that crowd gets so involved in it and you get involved with them that you end up making plays or trying to do things that maybe you shouldn't have done.
Short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he is going to have the Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
It's Mixon on the counter. Still going. Inside the 10. Touchdown, Houston. Joe Mixon, 62 yards. And the Texans use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the 4th.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They'd done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. George Pickens back out now with the rest of the offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we're seeing a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it, Warren. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 63 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. The Steelers on 3rd down. Lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Will Anderson, his 2nd sack of the night. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
Stroud to throw it. Caught left side. Here's Dell. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. 3rd down and 1. On the bootleg, Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 2nd down and 4. Now it's Mixon running right. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. This now a 3rd and 4.
No gain on the play. It's now 3rd and 4.
Stroud sets up the play action. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd
receiver
down.
downfield. Offense.
So since that last play got nothing, they'll go ahead and decline the penalty, and that forces a 4th down situation. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the 4th as they go to work on a crucial drive, 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Got his man, it's Warren. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. What a throw right there for the 1st down. He has taken some real punishment in this game, but still standing in the pocket, completing that one.
He's a flat-out warrior. There's no question about that. How about him stepping up into the teeth of the rush and delivering there for that big strike and that big pickup?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. It's Warren, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. That's Warren. They'll give him 4 yards there. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Now Rodgers. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. 4-step. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. Fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Rodgers to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. To throw is Rodgers. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22.
And good yardage there on 1st down because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get 1 key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Just the 1 timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it up, and the Texans have just about sewn up this football game. Just when you thought this game might be turned on its heel, a late interception pretty much going to seal the deal.
Yeah, boy, talk about having your backs to the wall. This defense, they look like they were in danger of surrendering this lead, but they knew they needed that 1 play, and they got it right there, partner.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's 1 timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. They go down to a knee, and that will do it. They are moving on here in the playoffs. Well, 1 win down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports, but a good start.
A terrific start because they get to move on. Unfortunately for the team that lost, it's a long offseason ahead for them now.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.